Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have a great show lineup for you.
Whoop, whoop.
We have some guests in the studio and also some pre-recorded talent. We're going to talk about something we hope you don't have to deal with in these colder temperatures, and that is impaction in your horses with Dr. Adam Kayot.
Is that packing too much for going on a trip?
Yes, that's it. We also have episode 2 with Buck Branaman. We have Ashley here with us from Cypress Valley Farm. Learn more about their ag and equine programs that they do for the homeschoolers. Great programs. And then we're also going to talk about how we can support your horse's healing and your dog and yourself with Becky Jenkins from Grateful Gallops. Thank you to our wonderful partners who help make the show possible. And we are very grateful, and you can watch and listen in multiple different ways. Equus TV, 97.3 The Sky, TV 20, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, iTunes, Odyssey, SoundCloud. I can go on. Multiple different ways to watch or listen, depending on whether you like to just stick your phone in your pocket while you're feeding in the barn and listen, or if you want to tune in and watch us on our live Facebook bloopers version or on Equus television once it's all perfected. We are now going to take it to Dr. Adam Kayot, and he is going to talk a little bit about avoiding impaction in your horses. Here he is.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chamber's Equine Initiative, here with Dr. Adam Kayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and we are going to talk about something we hope we don't have to deal with here in the cooler months, but I know some people have faced it already, and we want to avoid impaction.
So impaction is basically exactly what it sounds. It's a fecal material that gets pretty dry, and it gets impacted in the digestive system. We see it this time of year in the winter months mostly because everything's much drier. So it's cooler outside. Horses drink less, which is a big contributor. We're feeding dry hay more. There's less grass available, and so when you combine the feeding, the type of feed that we're feeding them, along with them decreasing their water intake, that's a prime example, prime setup for an impaction colic. Typically, with impaction colics, they're not very painful. They're just kind of uncomfortable and can be dull. Most common thing is, they'll be laying down a lot. You don't get the necessarily up and down pawing, thrashing about that you see with like a gas or even, something worse like a twist or something like that. They'll tend to just be kind of dull and be lying down more than they would before. They might just casually look at their side and that sort of thing. So that's going to be my number one go-to if those are the symptoms that I'm presented with. And treatment is generally is not too difficult. You can certainly, I run them mineral oil, put mineral oil in them, so that kind of lubricates everything. And then depending on the case, you may do IV fluids to just kind of overflow their system, and those fluids get dumped into the digestive system, and that helps loosen up that impaction and hopefully allows it to pass. So the good part about it is that they aren't generally too severe, though they can be surgical, but most of the time they aren't. So the number one thing that it happens after is if somebody drops a round bale in the field, and they just goes at it, and they hardly come out for a breath, and they're just eating on it all day long, and they might probably not used to that. That's prime time for an impaction colic. So
there's a balance in the fact that hay provides a lot of warmth for them in the winter because it creates the furnace environment for them with the eating, keeping them warm. But at the same time, when people throw a lot of extra and they're drinking less, that's when you run a risk of impaction. So it's introducing it slowly, even though you might be tempted to pile them up on the cold nights. I know we've had some high teens that have been rather cold. And then I add salt. You know, I'm a big fan of adding salt to encourage them to drink.
Yep, salt, have a salt lick. You can add it to their feed. You know, that will encourage them to consume more water. Can lead a horse to water, right?
Which can't make you drink. Good forage is also really important in the winter, good quality. So that's another.
And, you know, I mean, you don't have as big a risk if they, you know, feed them what they're used to.
Right.
You know, try to stay along the same lines of what they're used to. I know you're going through a lot more hay than might be in the summer, and hay's not cheap down here. So, you know, there might be a temptation to throw a lesser quality forage at them just to give them something, but be careful, you might be paying for it in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. It might not save you any money. We highly recommend Larson hay because it's Idaho's finest alfalfa. Did you know that?
I've heard that before.
You've heard that before. So good, really good forage. And probably what's wise to do if you know you have to up hay during the winter is start to slowly increase it in the fall rather than go from nothing to lots. Do a gradual increase over the season so that when you do have a freezing cold night, you're not piling on too much.
Right, exactly.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Adam Kayott with Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
Some very good points made there about quality of forage, very important. Big fan of Larson hay because you know you get good forage there. I'm also a fan of salt, especially at this time of year to help them keep drinking. We met an amazing lady at the Work Expo that had some natural water flavors that fantastic, and that can help you encourage your horse to drink. And very good point also made about not dumping a massive round roll of hay out there because it's cold, and you think, oh, your horses want to eat lots of forage when it's cold because it creates a furnace, which is very true. But if your horses are not used to having a roll of hay and they go out there and just gorge themselves on it, and they're not used to it, so introducing hay, if you don't feed it in the summer, introducing it slowly in the fall through the fall season and then building up over the winter months rather than a rapid change. Any rapid changes with horses are very, very bad. And I recently took a Tifton roll out to the donkeys, but I put a huge net with tiny little holes around it so that they could only nibble at it slowly rather than be fat pigs and eat it all at once. Yeah, exactly. So those are just great tips to avoid impaction, especially in these cooler months that we're having these spells where it goes rapidly from 80 to the 30s. It's not good for any of us, is it, Pete?
No, ma'am.
No.
You don't know what to wear in the morning.
No. It's layers. It's all about the layers.
Yeah, you can take them off.
That's
you
right.
Put them on if you don't have them.
That's right. I want to do a quick mention for a horse that has a plaque in our downtown square here in Ocala, the horse capital, celebrating a Florida-bred Silver Charm, who absolutely incredible horse during his career, and Kentucky Derby almost Triple Crown winner, and he is retired at Old Friends in Lexington, Kentucky, and I have visited him there, and he is the coolest horse. He's usually got his tongue sticking out waiting for a carrot or two, and it was his birthday yesterday, and he was 32 years old. Or I should say 32 years young. So happy birthday to dear Silver Charm. I hope I get to visit him again at Old Friends in the very near future. If you haven't checked out Old Friends, they're a wonderful 501c3. They have a couple of different properties, one in Kentucky and one in New York, and they have some...
They should have one down here.
I know, but I tried to talk them into it on multiple occasions. I even told them I'd help them with it. Imagine that, in my spare time.
Your fifth job?
Yes, my fifth job. But it's a absolutely wonderful place because even if a horse raced and didn't win a whole lot, it still has a home there. And then there's some super famous horses like Silver Charm there too. So if you get a chance to visit when you're in Lexington, you can go and pay a small fee. Or you can buy a share in one of the famous ones. I bought a share in Silver Charm, so happy birthday to my horse. We'll be right back after this. We are going to talk to Ashley from Cypress Valley Farm here in Ocala. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business. My wife Sarah and I are horse owners ourselves and know what matters most to a farm owner, with the safety of their horses being of utmost importance to us. Pat Myers Electric can light up your arena and make sure your horse's barn is safe and protected. Pat Myers Electric is the horseman's choice. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
Veteran-owned Wide Automotive, that's WEIDE, is a beacon of automotive excellence in Ocala. Founded on integrity and expertise with unwavering dedication in all operations, we seek to forge lasting relationships with our clients. Whether you have one vehicle or a fleet, we pledge our best effort in quality service. From repairs, diagnostics, tire repair and replacement, diesel engine work, horse trailers, car batteries, wheel alignments, fuel systems, and more. Discover more at wideautomotive.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have special guests in the studio from Cypress Valley Farm. We've got Ashley and August here. Ashley, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to talk a little bit about ag and equine for our upcoming generations, and wherever you are in the United States or the world, there are a lot of young people coming up without the influence of horses and agriculture like they did back in the day, which is sad. And actually, just to bring up some wonderful partners of ours, Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, started visiting our schools a few years ago with small miniature horses, and we're very sad to find that initially in their first visits that out of about 400 or 500 students, there were only about 5 or 6 that had ever seen or touched a horse, which is quite disappointing in the horse capital of the world to us. And thankfully that's improving, and we're hoping that students have more chance to be around 4-legged large creatures, and you're helping with that. So we wanted to bring you in and talk a bit about it.
Perfect. I was doing other work. I was a technician for about 20 years, a vet technician, and whenever I got laid off, I didn't know what to do, but we had a bunch of students in our homeschool group, because I was homeschooling currently my kids. They asked for me to teach them about horses, so I wrote a book, and then I wrote another book, and then I think we're up to 9 now, and we have 7 classes that we teach. So we have a farm school, a intro to veterinary assisting program, a vet junior program, a intro to wildlife rehabilitation program, and a homeschool horsemanship program. We're also implementing new classes next semester, a ranch reading program. A couple of other things that we're playing around with, working on. We also do a prom, a graduation, and a ton of field trips, which, as you know, our field trips are visiting to like HITS and WEC. Tomorrow afternoon, we're actually going to be at the UF Equine Hospital at WEC, so we get to do a tour there. And, you know, that way the kids get to see behind the scenes. So not only do we teach them about agricultural, we're relaying and, you know, playing into those careers that they could potentially have later on if they decide that this is something that they want to pursue.
I think that's wonderful, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, we're huge fans of any way that you can get the next generation engaged and involved in being outdoors, around animals, anything to do with rehabilitation. You probably know this, I'm sure, having been a tech for a long time and almost a vet. There is a massive shortage of large animal veterinarians in the United States of America. It's huge.
It's massive. It's terrifying, but it also goes back to the equine owners, because we are part of the problem. I mean, it really does. It plays right back into our hand, because being an equine veterinarian, a large animal veterinarian, it's very taxing. It's taxing on your body, it's taxing on your soul, and you have all of these, people that they want answers like this, and you're trying your best to make sure that you could fulfill all those orders and answers, trying to save this animal's life or trying to make it, more comfortable or, better acclimated into a situation. And veterinarians put their heart and soul into their work, and it's very
It's a big
taxing.
load. It is a big load.
It's extremely taxing. I think the biggest wake-up call for me with that was I lost 3 friends in 1 year. And that's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
And so, I want our students that come through to have those coping skills, capabilities, to understand that it is taxing, but it's also rewarding. And so what we do with our Intro to Veterinary Assisting program is that we teach the students what is expected of them. So we learn how to, do an IV. We learn how to draw blood. We learn how to look for lameness. We learn what the proper forage and nutrition, and we look at all the different horses, their sizes, what if they need something different changed in their diet. So it's all of those things played into it. Then we go to see the vet hospitals, whether it's UF. We have one scheduled for next semester at a couple of different vet clinics. So it's just a matter of getting these kids acclimated into this environment that is not the easiest. It's
so
unexpected. So they understand what's expected. The commitment, but then, we also carry on the other side of it is those coping skills that go with it. So we teach them how to understand that what they're feeling is not something that they shouldn't. We understand how to relate and empathize with the owner, but yet still hold a business professional standard, so that you don't get in there and wrapped up into feeling everything that your owner is feeling, and so you don't bring yourself down. It gives you a way to cope with those feelings.
Because it's hard. You empathize and you have empathy because you love your animals, so you feel for that person when they're going through it. I remember years ago when I was a vet tech at a small animal clinic, I think I cried more than the owners. I mean, that's hard, not to...
Really?
Yeah. It's hard not to be in that spot.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's very difficult. And so I think a lot of times what happens is that as a vet tech or as a veterinarian, you forget that you need to separate yourself from that because you are so involved in this animal's life. And whether you've had, contact with that animal for 15 years or 10 years or 5, it doesn't really matter. You still gain that attachment. Whether most vets say it or not, they have a favorite. Mm-hmm. They have a favorite. And so whenever something happens to that favorite one, it's very difficult.
And then you do fun stuff with the kids too.
Oh, we do lots of fun
There's
stuff.
a lot of fun stuff.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
We were looking at the videos. There's a lot of fun stuff with the kids.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
And your kids are involved, which
My
is
kids are
lovely.
involved, yes.
August is involved.
So August is involved. She's kind of my right hand, helps me out with a lot of the stuff. She's learning to do the bookkeeping and that sort of portion with it. It's not her favorite thing. But the horse aspect, she loves it.
Yes, of course.
So she's set up some new obstacles and things over the last couple of weeks. We've got lots of cones, lots of poles, a few little small poles to go over. Our barrels are set up because she likes to barrel race. So whether it's, bareback or whatever.
You've got a horse there that used to be a bucking champion too, right?
Yes. So used to be a bucking champion. Well, actually, he'd probably give you a run for his money.
If he wanted to, right?
If he wanted to. I'm pretty sure, didn't he give you a run for your money yesterday?
Little Bear.
No, it was Zane.
And then Little Bear, who I met yesterday.
Yes.
She comes there and has lessons.
Yes.
Lovely. It was so lovely to meet her and her mom.
Homemade.
So you're a 501c3.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are right there in Citra.
Yes, ma'am.
Right off 318.
Right across the street from Majestic Oaks.
Yep. And a great facility there all set up for homeschoolers to come Tuesdays and Thursdays? I think you said you have
So
big
Tuesday,
classes.
Wednesday, Thursday, we have classes. Fridays and Mondays, we try to keep for field trips, whether we go to like SeaWorld or the aquarium or Busch Gardens or, whatever fun stuff we can come up with.
And then you were out at HITS, you met Vinny, and you were like, hey, can we come on a field trip to HITS? Because that makes sense. That's a great thing for them to see everything that goes on out there.
I have a feeling that they're really going to love that one because they love WEC too. But HITS is different. It's all right there, and you could see like different arenas, and it's just a lot to
take in.
Both of them need a golf cart to see everything.
Yes.
That's so true. That's so true. So you're a 501c3, Cypress Valley Farm in Citra. Obviously accept donations for help with these wonderful programs. Your horses look very well cared for. I noticed you had some that you've rescued, which I think is wonderful. I love the way your family is involved, and I love the fact that you're giving kids an opportunity, especially homeschool kids, to come out there and be able to learn about equine and ag, which is so important.
Thank you. We're really trying. The kids built their own garden boxes this last semester. We've grown a few things. We had several things growing this past. Well, we made it through the first freeze, and I uncovered everything, and our goat, Shrek, he
got into it.
He got into it, so we have to start over. But, that Shrek, what are we doing with him?
Salad.
He enjoyed his salad. He
did.
ate every bit of the spinach. He left a few pumpkin leaves, but that was about it.
Well, we have 10 seconds left, so if you'll let our listeners know how they can find you.
You guys can find us on Facebook. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, pretty much any kind of social media you could possibly think.
Cypress Valley Farm.
Cypress Valley Farm.
Ashley and August, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you on with us. Stay with us. We're coming right back with Buck Branaman on the Horse Talk Show. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934, manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of North Central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
That was very good for English. I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And before we get to Buck Branaman, I just want to say Larson Hayes Customer Appreciation Days was phenomenal.
Whoop, whoop.
really busy, especially the location 27, Highway 27.
That's the fun house. That's what I call
That's
it.
the fun house.
That's right.
The location on Highway 27 is the fun house. I
that's the
guess
fun
downtown people like me aren't fun, huh?
That's right. That's the fun house.
Well, Eddie was out there Saturday and had a great time out there. There was lots going on. All the machines were going, and
I
everybody
always
was
go in
piling
there and
up.
go, appreciate me, appreciate me.
They had some good snacks and things
They
too.
did.
Yeah, it was a good time. So well done to Larson Hay. We love feeling appreciated. Nothing better than being able to stop up on hay at this time of year when you need it the most.
That's right.
We are now taking it to Buck Branaman. Here he is, episode 2.
No, I agree. And another thing we discussed recently was, horsemanship wasn't really a big thing when I was a kid. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network. Here with world-renowned horseman Buck Branaman. Buck, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
It's really an honor to be here with you and just to talk horse a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Horsemanship wasn't really a big thing when I was a kid. And I think the changes that we've seen over, even the last 20 or 30 years are amazing. And it's good for the horse because the horse now has a chance.
Nobody has to lose for you to be successful with horses. It should be a win-win, And like I said yesterday, I want my horses to be comfortable. I want them to enjoy their life. It's not that I don't ask them to work for a living and be athletic and do some really cool things, but it doesn't mean they have to be my slave to do that.
That's right.
And is it difficult? Well, yeah. Even sorry horsemanship is difficult.
Right.
But like I said yesterday, when I get off the last horse of the day and I get to the house, I don't mind looking in the mirror. I don't have anything to be ashamed of. Everything I do, my entire working life, is in front of people. I don't have anything to hide. Where would I hide? Where the hell would I hide around here? Or any other place that I go? And I don't have the behind the barn situation where I'm a different guy when nobody's around. There's always someone around in my life. And I can do it without any shame whatsoever.
It's wonderful. The horses are grateful for that, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
During the pandemic, I know you started the Buck series, the Buck channel, and that's been hugely successful. And I think there's 7 or so parts to that. But other future kind of ventures and things that you want to try?
Well, I'm pretty happy with my life the way it is. I've cut back a little bit on the clinics. I'm not doing 40 a year anymore. I can't even imagine doing 40 clinics a year now. But I'm still doing 20, 21, 22, which is a lot, still a lot of traveling. And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not really looking for anything else. My life is good like it is. I'm surrounded by people that care about being with me and that I enjoy being around. I'm not looking for anything else.
And they love their horses and want to learn more.
Yeah. Yeah, and I may, in the future, I would still like to do a film on my book, The Faraway Horses. And I haven't given up on that yet. That's because I think there's a good message in there that would be nice to be able to tell it on a really large scale to people. So I haven't given up that little dream yet. I may get that done, but in the meantime, what I do for a living is I'm at the destination, really.
You're in a happy place, doing what you love.
Yeah.
And you never work a day in your life when you do what you love. So
yeah.
I know that. So last question I have for you is, and of course anything else you want to add for our viewers, we would love to hear. But my last question for you is, next week I'm going on my first ever cattle drive. The Great Florida Cattle Drive, and doing about 80 miles in 5 days on horseback, driving cattle across the state. You got any advice?
Well, if you haven't been around cattle much, has your horse been around cattle?
Well, yeah, fortunately, I'm actually using one of their horses. So,
well, you'll be all right.
Yes.
Probably the best advice is, there'll be some there that kind of know what they're doing. Some that are maybe cowboys that have done quite a bit of it. Just watch them. Watch what they're doing. And they'll know that you're watching and paying attention, and then do your best to the area where you are. Know that you're responsible for everything to your left and everything to your right. And because things become a problem when cattle kind of slip out and you didn't pay attention, and then someone has to go galloping through the trees to catch them. But watch the good guys, what they do, and you'll have all you need.
And just copy them.
That's it.
Follow their lead. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's kind of a bucket list. Any last things you'd like to say to our listeners? I think the love of the horse is something that's unmatched. I know that having got back in the saddle much more recently and started to ride a couple of times a week, my endorphin levels have completely adjusted, and I know that just being around horses, the power of the horse is amazing, and I know that what you do speaks volumes to how important that is.
Well, odds are there's probably quite a few people that listen to your show that have ridden with me and that do ride with me, and I really mean it when I say it, that all of those people that have been riding with me all those years have blessed my life so much that I understand that some people that come to my clinics, they might save all year long just to be able to afford to come to one clinic. And you know as well as anybody, I could double or triple the price of my clinics. They'd still be full. Probably still have a waiting list. But I understand that people that work hard for a living come to my clinics, and it's a sacrifice to come. I have to keep it to where they still get to come around, and I still get to be the privilege of being around them. So many of my friends, they'll say, you should double it, like today. Then it changes the group of people that come to my clinics. It would be people that had a little more access to money, and that's okay. Rich people are allowed to come to my clinics too. But I just don't want it to be unaffordable for people that work for a living like the rest of us, you know. And they've so blessed my life, I owe them. They don't owe me.
Oh.
So.
Well, I know they love coming, and I know that it's worthwhile, and definitely a worthwhile investment for them and for their horse. And that, you know, if you're a lifelong horse person, you want to keep your horse forever, that relationship is so important. Once you get it right, you're going to have, everything's going to be easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is.
It's a big part of it. But thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's such an honor.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Louisa Barton here for the Equus Television Network and the Horse Talk Show with Buck Branaman.
What an honor to have a chance to talk to Buck. Pete, you were there, got to sit there and listen to us chatting. He is always so down to earth and so real and so relaxing.
And then when the mics go off, he talked even more, and you're like, can we put the mic back on?
I know. Yeah, he's wonderful to have a conversation with. He's a great guy. And
it's the only time you go into calm mode.
I know. What is that with him? He does that to me. He just makes me feel relaxed. I guess that's what he does to the horses. It's a good thing, right? Have an opportunity to see him again. Hopefully again next year he'll be back to do another clinic here. And thank you so much to Nathan for always making sure that we get to connect up. We've still got to get Nathan here in the studio, so that's on the to-do list. So we will be right back with the second half of the show, and we'll have Becky Jenkins with us from Grateful Gallops. Stay with us.
Piranha Animal Health is your trusted leader in insect control since 1972.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business founded on both trust and integrity. From new installations to repairs and emergencies, Pat Myers Electric's team of professionals can handle it all. Pat Myers Electric, for all your current needs. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet,
your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
We have our friend Becky Jenkins here in the studio with us, and I think her business name is highly appropriate. Grateful Gallops. Becky, lovely to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're a veteran.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your service. We very much appreciate that.
My
you
pleasure.
were in the Air Force?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So veteran-owned Grateful Gallops.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
That's awesome. You, what, 4 or 5 years you were in, I think?
I was in 4.5, and then I supported my now ex-husband for him to finish out his career so I could stay home and raise the kids. And then I worked for the Department of Defense supporting all of the military branches.
Wow. Amazing. So that makes you very professional and scheduled and organized, but you also have a huge heart for animals and people.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is very important as well with what you do.
I have to really enjoy what I'm doing, because if I'm not, the animals can feel it.
Absolutely. Right.
Yes.
So we always tell you to consult your veterinarian, but we love any kind of natural healing that can complement that and help healing faster and more naturally and support the horse in all of that. So that is what we really want to talk about, and you do everything from and we're going to cover some different topics with you over the coming weeks, but I want a kind of overview of what you can offer to your clients.
So for the equine and canines, I do massage, cupping. Yes, you can do cupping on horses and dogs. I do stretching, because stretching's important. I do cold laser, red light, cryotherapy. I do Beamer for horses, but not for the dogs because it's too strong, the horse blanket for them. I do essential oils. Sometimes you just need a little something to relax them, and they let me know if they need a little something. I do energy work and craniosacral releases for them. For the humans, I have the human Beamer, and then I also do cryotherapy for orthopedic or aesthetic. So orthopedic would be if you've got somebody who's riding and they've got chronic pain in their lower back because they're sitting the trot all the time and they're not in a good saddle. I can do some cryo, I can show them some stretching that they can do. And then for the aesthetic part of it, for those of us that are a little bit more mature with our skin, it helps with the fine lines and wrinkles. I've done it to myself once now, and I've noticed a big difference. But I truly believe in everything that I do. I'm a bit of a nerd. I want to know how something works. I want to know the science behind it. And if there's something that's new and upcoming, or there's some old school, I want to learn about it. How can I help the horses, the dogs, and the people. It's a unit, and they all have to go together.
We are a unit.
Yes.
So true. We are.
So you would be considered a massage therapist?
For horses.
For horses.
And dogs, not for humans.
Okay, I'm going to do a really gross shout out.
No, here
I
we
know
go.
you love it when I do
Poop.
this, Pete, don't
Here
you?
comes some
No,
poop
we're
talk.
not talking about poop. But no, that was not where I was going with this. I was actually going with, so I don't wear foundation. But last week, if you had come in really close, if Eddie had come in really close on my face, I had a daub of foundation here because I had some sort of, well, in England we call it a spot. Here you call it a zit, but it looked more like a boil, and it actually almost like was, it wasn't like a boil on a face, it was like a face on a boil. It was like you could name it. It had a zip code. So anyway, I was hugely self-conscious about it, and it had been there for about 10 days. So Saturday we met and we talked about cryo, because I've had cryo before and loved it. And so Becky just did a very short period of time on my large boil, and it's completely flat, gone away. I don't have a daub of foundation on it this week. So I am very, very happy about that. It's impressive.
Yes, the science is amazing.
Yes,
so if you think about how much that helped, so you're getting the blood flow, you're getting the healing qualities that you need for that. Think of what it's doing if you've got a horse or a dog that needs a little something more, or those of us that have, the joint issues, elbows, knees, from stuff that we've done as youngsters.
Sounds like a song.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So, but something that is interesting, anybody that has heard the cryo machine, it's loud and it's scary, especially to a prey animal. The dogs, my one dog didn't come near me for a week, not even exaggerating. But we can do a quick burst of that cryo to bring it to a sub-zero, and then use that tip to work whatever area on the horse or the dog. So we can do it on those animals as well. So it's pretty amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And being able
I'm
to
loving
make
it.
a person or an animal feel better, more comfortable. Just yesterday, Livia had been running miles and miles over the weekend like crazy. Pete's like, why? What was chasing her? No, like marathon running.
Yes.
And, to be able to cryo areas on athletes who have aches and pains.
Yes.
When I got back into regularly riding, which I hadn't done for quite a long time, I was pretty sore and achy for a while because my body wasn't used to using those muscles. So for people get back into riding on a regular basis and they're like, ouch, things are hurting that I haven't used for a long time.
Yes.
That's a wonderful compliment to be able to take care of someone's horse and them at the same time.
Definitely, definitely. One of the biggest things that I tell my clients is on a horse, it's their feet, the saddle, and the bit. Because if any of those three are off, your body's going to be off on the horse. But I'm never going to tell somebody you're riding crooked, that's why your horse is sore. But a lot of times it has to do with how they're balanced. And they may not realize that they're leaning more to the left or to the right. So the horse is going to have more pain on that side, compensating here, compensating there. But if I can get some work done on the human to make it better for them and the horse,
then they're going to
it's a
work together
win-win.
better.
Yes.
Right? That
yes.
makes total sense.
You have a happier animal if they're not in pain, and if they're not getting that shooting pain when every time the saddle's touching on a spot, or if they're actually balanced, then they're planting their feet nicely, so they're not getting that shooting pain going into the shoulders or the hips. So it all works together.
All works together if you can get
Yes.
both athletes working together compatibly and both balanced and comfortable. So that's huge, and that is a wonderful compliment to your regular veterinary care, because when you can make animals and people feel better, and the compassion and love you show to all of them, even when you met Flynn for the first time, you introduced yourself, put your hand under his blanket and felt him and touched him and let him know that he was safe, which is the most important part, is that they feel safe before you go and start, especially when they don't know you.
Yeah. I had one client, it's now a retired police horse from the Tampa City Police Mounted Unit. The first time I met him, he was just like, what are you doing? And kept pinning his ears and and he's a mounted unit. So he's not doing this to hurt me, but there was something, and I was like, he's in pain. It took me 4 visits before I could actually get my hands on him and do any type of massage. If it takes me 4 or 5 times to go out and visit, then so be it.
You're all about that, aren't you?
Oh,
it's
yes,
about
ma'am.
take the time to work the horse to being comfortable.
I always say you don't go to the doctor and he just starts grabbing and touching stuff. He introduces himself, hopefully.
I am going to...
Don't forget your bags.
Carefully move my microphone so I don't get into trouble with the show producer. And bless you with some goodies from Piranha Animal Health.
You.
These are wonderful
you.
because they are travel size.
Oh, perfect.
And KWell USA, one of our partners, has the most amazing products for...
Okay.
You'll love their healing sprays for... All
Awesome.
natural healing sprays are amazing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
How do people find you, Becky?
All they need to do is go on to Facebook and look up Grateful Gallops, or go to gratefulgallops.com. Find me, Becky Jenkins. There's a picture of my Palomino bowing down with an American flag on him. That's how you know it's me. And send me a text, send me an email.
Thank you for all you do, Becky.
Thank you.
Looking forward to learning more about your different services.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health, in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
Aren't you glad our guests tonight all got the teal memo?
Oh, yeah, except for me. That's okay. I can be different.
You like to be a standout, don't you?
That's right.
I want to do a shout out for Bob Haight from United Way. What a wonderful man he is indeed, isn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
And he told us on Friday that he was actually retiring in July of this year. And I know that United Way will always be in great hands, but we certainly will miss him. He is salt of the earth. Has done such a phenomenal job leading United Way in so many fantastic ways. And 2 years ago, so this is the second year, but last year when we first had conversations about the Children's Charity Classic, I was surprised at how well an inaugural event went off for the very first time. First time was 2025. And was really happy with the way the community
jumped behind something and took United Way, that's typically probably not necessarily equestrian related, and linked that up with the horse world, with the equine industry, and put HITS Ocala together with United Way of Marion County to do this fantastic event that actually is a fundraiser for 10 children's charities.
And this year had more participation.
Yes.
Or people watching. So they've already doubled it. And now next year we'll see. And I want to know what the theme is.
I know, right? Because the
board
first year,
games was amazing.
Yes, this board games was great. I mean, was what, like they had what, chess and Battleship and
Clue.
It was just a phenomenal costumes and fun
Chess.
And horses and families and people out there just enjoying a wonderful event, very competitive event. And the winners actually got a check for $30,000, and that was for Kimberly's Center, which is absolutely a wonderful place that takes children that have been through terrible situations and abuse and that sort of thing, and helps them. And actually Tamara, who used to be my boss at the chamber, was on the board for Kimberly's Center, and she was a huge fan and spoke highly of them. We are going to hear now, just for a few minutes, from Dawn, who is their executive director, and right on the evening of this event, when she was able to take that check and has plans, wonderful plans for it for children in this area. So let's hear from her.
I'm Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network, where it hits. We've just had the amazing second annual Children's Charity Classic. Such a phenomenal competition. So much fun having a junior, amateur, and professional rider, and then having 10 charities of benefit, and then being a winner. And tell us about that.
Yeah, we are so excited at Kimberly Center. Number one, to just even be a participant out here. We're so grateful to United Way of Marion County for bringing this event to us, all the sponsors for putting their work into making this happen. And being out here and being exposed to the equine community is just such a blessing. I sometimes feel like I don't get that opportunity very often. So to be out here tonight and experience this, it's just really left an impression for me. The skill sets of these riders, watching them do what they do.
Costume, right?
Yeah, it was just really cool. We're thrilled and we're grateful. And Marion County is such a blessing to so many. And being able to use these funds to take care of kids in our community that are suffering just kind of magnifies the way we feel tonight about this wedding.
Isn't it lovely to be the horse capital of the world? To have these competitors of all ages come together at such an incredible facility as this and accomplish great things and have our charities from our local community benefit. I can't think of a better way of putting the two worlds together, right?
I completely agree. People are immensely generous when they're given that opportunity to be generous. And so for HITS to host this, and for United Way to bring the idea and these riders to give their time, talent, and treasure, it's amazing.
Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Give us a little brief rundown on what Kimberly Center does. I know from Tamara, of course, but our viewers might be also.
Kimberly Center for Child Protection is a nonprofit right here in Marion County, and we take care of kids when they've been impacted by child abuse or child neglect. Unfortunately, it happens far too often in our community, but we are blessed to have a place like Kimberly Center where they can come to receive critical services like forensic interviews, medical exams, trauma therapy, and then also doing important prevention work in the schools so hopefully keep kids from being a victim in the first place.
Wonderful. So you got a check tonight? Yes. $30,000? That will go a long way.
A very long way. And these funds are specifically going to be to support an expansion of our trauma therapy program so that more kids that have been impacted by child abuse and neglect can get that help that they need to recover.
I love that. Thank you for sharing with us. Congratulations tonight. What an exciting night. I know this is just going to go on and get bigger and better every year. Last year was phenomenal. I don't think I've ever been to such an amazing first year event. And then this year again, fantastic, lovely turnout, getting the community all involved. It's wonderful. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network. Here it hits with the winners. Kimberly Center, check them out. They're a phenomenal 501c3 in Marion County, and we love that the total of 10 charities got help this evening, and that's a wonderful thing.
For Kimberly Center, and actually every single one of the charities actually got a check.
Wow.
So I don't think anybody went home without something. And Kimberly Centre's going to be building, as she mentioned, a trauma center, and using the funds for a new big project for our kids in this area. So the other charities were also blessed, left with checks. Shout outs to obviously United Way for the event. Huge shout out to HITS Ocala for doing this awesome, having this venue to do this awesome event. Massive shout outs to all the competitors. There was a junior rider, a professional rider, amateur rider. There was, each team had a theme, and they were coupled with a charity, and those competitors went out there and gave their time too, and their horses to do this, and their obvious efforts for the costumes as well, which were very cool.
Oh yeah,
as Pete mentioned. And then big shout outs to HCA, Florida, Ocala Hospital, E1, and all the other sponsors that got involved in making it happen.
And the VIP tent that we got to go in for media had some big players in there walking around and talking to them and finding out that they donated or they bid on horses and stuff for auctions to raise money.
Yeah.
So it was huge.
It was really fantastic. Well done event, well put on. Hard to believe it's only in its second year. And as Pete said earlier, I feel like future years are that's just going to be...
You're going to have to go to the big stadium to do it because there's going to be so many people.
I know.
It's going to be like the $1 million jump off. Do you remember when that used to be where everybody...
Yes, it was huge,
came out of the woodwork. You went and watched.
Yeah, I think that's just going to be it's going to grow and grow. And, as even with Bob, retiring and stepping down this year, I know that they're going to put somebody else there who will be able to keep this going, and the continuity of just a growth. And one of my favorite things, as you know, is putting together the horse world with the non-horse world. So seeing people ride for charities that are not necessarily related to equine, not that they can't be. I mean, we certainly can find children's charities that are related to equine, but just the fact that they bring those two worlds together to fundraise and ask them to say, hey, what are you going to use the money for, to make sure that this is something additional to their normal programming, which I think is phenomenal. So Children's Charity Classic, United Way, and all the sponsors and all the competitors and HITS especially.
And
well
the
done.
Audience.
And the audience for
they
coming
were really
out.
thrilled
Yes,
that
they
they had a lot of people watching this year.
Nice to see the stands full and to see the excitement of such a wonderful event. So thank you all for being there, and we'll start looking towards next year and how we can continue to grow this to just be good for our community, good for the horse capital of the world, and good for the kids. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
We will be right back with the last segment of the show with our tips of the week and some event mentions. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of North Central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com. It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus! Buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we're going to do Dancing Pete Rhoda's complimentary horsemanship tip of the week.
Dancing Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
So today's tip of the week is really interesting because you've mentioned it, and you
empathy.
So
I've mentioned it.
I
love people who have it, by the way.
I have 8 things that all good teachers, leaders, horsemen should have. And focus, fair, follow through, consistent, persistent, patient, flexible sequence. And by working with Pat Myers, I realized empathy needs to be in there. You have to empathize with your horse. You have to empathize with your employees. You have to empathize with your students because they might not get it as fast as you got it. And however, you can have too much empathy and then you don't want to follow through. So a lot of us have too much empathy for people and we get taken advantage of, or we don't know how to say that.
There's a balance in between being extremely harsh and having no empathy at all, and then having a healthy balance of empathy. And that is a huge challenge in my life. Huge.
There you go. Too much empathy.
But if I had the choice of being one end of the scale or the other, I would by far choose having too much and not being harsh and not having a bad attitude in
We
life,
need to
so.
rebalance that for a little while.
Yes, probably. I'm much better than I used to be, though, and you know that.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I am. I've come streets from where I used to be.
That 2-letter word was not part of your vocabulary.
I know it wasn't. And actually, my daughter used to call me a doormat. But I don't believe that I'm a doormat anymore. So there's balance, you know. And listen,
you're a wreath on the door now.
I'm a wreath instead. Yes, I am. But I'm going to say that, listen, if you are in a stage of improvement, then you are on your journey, and that is good because it's the steps. You're not necessarily going to be able to go from one extreme to the other overnight. So appreciate yourself if you're making changes because they're not easy.
And remember, change back is not a problem. Sometimes you're going to go back.
Yep.
And that can make a bigger change when you change back again.
Exactly. So listen, give yourself a little pat on the back if you're on that journey and you're doing better.
Pat on the back like Pat Myers?
Like Pat Myers, yeah. And speaking of Pat Myers, actually, this would be a great time to hear a tip of the week from that gentleman. So here he is.
At Pat Myers Electric, we're constantly training to be our absolute best.
For all your current barn needs. Hello, I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric, serving all your current needs with your tip of the week. This week, I want to talk about if your lighting is stressing out your horse. If you have lighting in your barn or in your arena, if it's low lighting or it's not correctly designed, it can cause your horse to spook more often and be more stressed out. So having an individual come in and design a lighting package for your barn or your riding arena that provides nice, even lighting with LED lights, it's going to make your riding experience and your horse's demeanor that much more calm and make your life better. Pat with Pat Myers Electric, serving all your current needs.
Thank you, Pat and Sarah Myers. They are experts on equine facilities, being horse people themselves. They can definitely tell you if you're in the right place with your barn, with your lighting, and keeping your horses happy, right?
There you go.
If you have a horse...
Tally-ho! Oh, sorry. Go to the hounds.
You probably have at least one dog. So here is Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, Ocala Dog Ranch. Organized dog sports. There is a ton of things to do with your dogs these days. If you're athletic, you can do some of the athletic sports like agility, frisbee, and if you're not, you can do dock diving. You get to meet a whole bunch of new people. The dog gets to have regular exercise and mental stimulation. Check out dog sports. The whole world is full of dog sports. Neil Hennessy, Ocala Dog Ranch.
Hey, Neil will be in the studio with us next week because he's going to tell you all the good things that are going to be going on at Live Oak International with dog sports and dock diving.
Dock diving.
You know how much fun that is watching those dogs do that. It's so cool.
Jumping into the pool.
Jumping into the pool at Live Oak International. It's so fun. You know, the other day I saw the map with the layout of Live Oak International, where the obstacles are and all that, and they had dock diving on their map. I thought that was pretty cool. After all the years they've been doing those events, right?
Seemed pretty popular last year.
Yes, it was indeed. So we've got some event mentions to kick off. We are right there on the February 27th date, almost just around the corner. In fact, if you're on the Sky 97.3 listening on Saturday morning, you missed it for this year. But we're very excited that they're having the 10th annual Fur Ball for Vocal. That is Voice of Change Animal League. And it is a wonderful fur ball event. You probably just about have time to still get a table or some tickets. If not, there's always next year. But the good news is that for the month of February, Pat Myers, who we mentioned, Pat Myers Electric earlier, is giving $25 donated per service call through the rest of February, which is just a few more days. We'll give that money to Vocal, which do a wonderful job rescuing dogs and cats and finding perfect homes for them.
So if you have them come out, mention Vocal and they'll give the $25
to that wonderful 501c3 that rescues the fabulous cats and dogs. March 1st, believe it or not, I cannot believe that we're almost in March. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable that this year is flying by already. The Hunter Pace is coming right up, and that is Larson Hay, presenting sponsor, out at the beautiful Perry Plantation where Misty Morning Hounds is. And this is so much fun because you can be English, you can be Western, you can, any kind of gear or tack is fine. Just come out. You can do flat or over the jumps. And while we're on the topic of Misty Morning Hounds, their hunt ball is Saturday, March the 14th. Dancing Pete Roder will be there getting people to dance. They're going to do a silent auction and a live auction. It's only $100 for adults, $50 for juniors. And if you are a chamber partner in Ocala, Marion County, you are a discounted price, which is really nice. It's only $90, and all proceeds support the foxhounds. And this is a drag hunt. It's at the fourth governor of Florida's plantation. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful plantation. Gorgeous home where they're going to have this hunt ball. So you are invited. Get your tickets.
And if you'd like to board at Misty Morning Hounds,
it's a beautiful place to board.
Yes.
You've got the best riding all around you. You're on 530 acres, which is, it's awesome. And also March 14th is the closing meet because it is the end of the hunt season. So March 14th in the morning is closing meet. And then in the evening, it is the hunt ball to close out that season. But they will carry on with the monthly hunter paces. Love of the Horse for the Foundation for the Horse is Sunday, March 29th. That is a 5K and a polo classic. And that it proudly supports the Foundation for the Horse, which is a fabulous 501c3.
March 28th and 29th, Southeast Livestock Pavilion, Ocala, Florida, the Horseman Symposium. Starring Linda Pirelli, Ryan Rose, Dr. Emily Rose, Jake Birnbaum, Louis Lucio,
and you,
and me, Dancing Pete Rhoda.
Dancing Pete Rhoda.
Come out and learn from some of the top equestrians on how they think about horses.
Yeah, how you can actually compete and do well with your horse as well. And then the Black and White Gala, get this one on your calendar. I know it's October, but it's not that far away. October 10th. And that is Magic's birthday from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses. We can celebrate with her and with our wonderful colouring books that are going out to our schools and going to the summer reading program all about the equine industry. Got to wrap it up, whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not.
Happy horsing around till the same time next week.
See ya.